Hey there, YouTube, and everyone in my landscape and lawn care community. Of course, it's Adrian Stewart, Legend Landscape here. And you notice I didn't say good morning, YouTube, because it's after 1 o'clock. And I'm just relaxing for the moment. And it's Saturday, July 7th. And as I've been telling you guys in the previous video from yesterday, that today is a big day for Legend Landscape. And the reason why it's a big day today is because it's our 1 year anniversary today. So of course, that is a special day, you know? So yeah, it's been 1 year for us, and I'm happy that it's 1 year. It went by real fast. Just been really busy, and didn't even feel like a year. To tell you the truth, it didn't feel like a year, or it doesn't feel like a year. But as I reflect on some things, I'm like, okay, I guess it is a year, because I remember when this started, and and how everything went. So I'm just gonna reflect on some things during this video. Obviously there won't be any footage of us doing work, because we're not doing any work today. Usually on Saturdays I don't do work anyway. I'll do work on Sundays, but I'm not even doing work tomorrow or for this Sunday either, because of the fact all the work that needed to get done got done, even the ones that we usually do on a Sunday. So I have good 2 days here to relax and enjoy myself. Not 100% though, because I still got some maintenance to do on equipment, and I think I'll do that tomorrow. But on Saturdays, I just take the time. I wouldn't necessarily say I sleep in a lot longer. I mean, I sleep in a little longer. I usually have a appointment with my barber on Saturdays in the middle of the day at 12 o'clock. And every other Saturday, I bring my son with me. He comes every 2 weeks now, and I go every week. But anyhow, just giving you a little background on the whole Saturday thing. But yeah, 1 year, man. I remember when I started the business. I remember what I had. I remember what I was doing before I started my business as well. And I'll touch on that for right now, just to let you know, for some that don't know. I even though I just started my business, doesn't mean I haven't been in the industry for a long time. I've been in the industry for more than 25, almost 30 years. I say more like 25 if you want to be exact as far as the industry, but I've been doing it even longer than that, as I was doing work as a kid, mowing lawns at 6 years old, mowing my family's property, as far as my father's, my grandfather's. I did a lot. I did a lot of pulling weeds and things back in the day, and a lot of landscape work, maintenance. When I got in trouble, I did a lot more of it, and I got in a lot of trouble. But as far as the industry itself, I've done everything out in the field. I used to be the laborer, got to being a foreman, being supervisors. Got into doing mowing, doing the turf apps. I went in different fields of landscaping for a while, and it got to the point where I was managing, and I managed probably ever since 2004. So like the last probably 12, 14 years, I've been in management. And it could have been from like, field manager, account manager. And the last job that I had was, before I started my business, was a general manager. And, it was pretty much the company I was a general manager of. It was like a $3 to $4 million revenue company. I had to be on top of 6 crews as far as mowing, 3 to 4 crews as far as maintenance crews, turf applicating crews. There was also design and build in there as well. But I've been at other companies where I had to be on top of more people. This is probably like a good 30 or 40, if you want to say. But I've been to other commercial companies. I've been through the True Greens, the Valley Crest, some other companies you probably haven't heard of in this DMV area, but well known here. So I've been through my ranks of things. I put in the work out in the field, and I put in the work in the office, and I've always took pride in being somebody that was sharp in the field and sharp in the office, which you don't find that too often. You kind of find it either way. Like, you either have people that are really good in the field but can't do a lick in the office, and then vice versa, where you find the people who are really good in the office and the management but can't really handle what's going on in the field. But to me, I consider myself a double-edged sword. I could do both, like, really well. So, but yeah, I was on top of a lot of crews. I was on top of account managers and sales. I had to be on top of them on that, making sure they're keeping up with the communication with the customers, be it commercial or residential. Be on top, make sure they're meeting their goals. Dealing with the office manager, especially with billing and what have you. Dealing with our software that runs the company as far as the routing, the invoicing, just the customer base in general. You had to deal with operations managers that I had to make sure they were on top of everyone in the field. So I worked a lot. I worked, probably 70, 80 hours a week easily. And I'm including weekends when I say that, because there were times where I'd go to the office even on a Saturday because of just so much I had to be on top of, and or working from home. Because when you're sitting there, coming up with routes, coming up with new software, you going from one software to another, converting over was a bit of a thing. But you're routing, all these crews routes, help recording the work. Got to a point where I had to, because in the office manager we had at one point couldn't do it, but then the next one they started grooming into doing that part of it. But I was working a lot to keep in contact with a lot of the customers' concerns. Residential, you got a lot of them, a good couple of 100, 300, 400, 500 of those people who are, some of them have like issues you got to be on point with, going out to visit. Commercial, same, it was the same thing with that. Dealing with the staff, the employees, hiring, firing, interview, I had to deal with a lot. Anybody general manager has to deal with a lot of numbers, and then a lot of the staff, if it's people in the field, sales, whatever. So I did all of that. But I did it for so long, meaning like managing in the fields of landscaping for 12, 14 years, and then putting a lot of hours in. Always took pride in trying to do, like, whatever company I worked for, I wanted to do a good job. I wanted to treat it like it was mine. You guys are messing up with this, you need help with that, I'm trying to change it or make it more efficient so it'll run better. That's just how I am. So at the time, it got to a point where I'm putting a lot of hours in, and I'm thinking, man, I should be doing this for myself. But I wanted to make sure that everything was good with my personal finances, credit, and everything. I wanted to be somewhere stable. That's what my main focus was at the time, working for companies. But I had got all that straight, and then I was at the company where I put in a lot of hours, and then I'm thinking that the owners, I'm not kind of like in the direction they want to go in, and certain things I wanted to have, and I got restricted sometimes, and I didn't like that feel of it. So I had my mind last year to start my own business. I planned it, vacation, came back from vacation, put my 2 weeks in, and that's all she wrote. And once I left, it felt like, it was a bit of a jump. because you're going from somewhere where you're managing, where everything's in place and what have you, then you're trying to start something from scratch. And I didn't have much when I started. I had the background, the mind for it, the experience, the know-how for the business as far as, managing big companies. But I didn't have much. I didn't get any loans or anything. I worked really from scratch. I started off at that time, which is the time where you start trying to bid on commercial properties because they're getting their budgets ready for the next year. So I immediately started going out bidding on and doing takeoffs for commercial work, because my mind was at least I want to get prepared for 2018. Until then, I want to do whatever it is I need to do to get money coming in, and that's what I did. Another thing, I didn't have a truck. Had a personal vehicle, that I used to go around to estimate these jobs, meet managers, and what have you. And I rented a truck a couple days a week. Like whenever I had work, that's when I rented a truck. And I had one walk behind, and I got a storage unit that could keep a good amount of equipment in there. Not big enough for a big truck or anything, but just keep a good amount of equipment in there. So, sorry, I'm just adjusting my AC here. But yeah, that's all I had. I was trying to get the work for next year, and plus the snow that would be starting before the end of the year, because contracts start from November to April. But I was trying to build on what I had experience in to get prepared for it. In the meantime, I'm going to get whatever customers I can. Like I started putting myself out there on social media, word, mouth, whatever, people's, my website. I was building everything myself, and people started seeing what I was doing, and I got more work. And when I got bigger jobs, I hired people to help me with them. But the other work I would do by myself, and I was eating up everything. I don't care what it was. Like I was eating up whatever jobs I could get. And I would say when it got to the fall, I was also renting like trailers, like Sunbelt Rentals and places. Push leaf blowers. Like I had the basic stuff, like the walk behind, trimmers, blowers, the basic stuff. But anything bigger, larger, I would rent it, and it was only for like a couple days. But I just was trying to finish off the end of the year, because I was in hopes of like winning bids, which I was winning bids on commercial properties. Not that I'm not used to that for doing it for other companies, but for myself, I would just, I'm like, I can do this for everyone else, but I need to get this for myself. So I started winning bids, and I was like, okay, I got a good amount of, things working for next year. So I just need to finish off this year, 2017, and be done with it. Just get to, because I got those commercial contracts, which I get guaranteed money every month. And I start invoicing at the first of the month, get my money, obviously net 15. Obviously snow is 30 days, but so I end up going to the fall. A couple of times I might have rented a truck like by the week, but it was really only scheduled my jobs certain days, and then I would just get the truck for those days. That's how I was starting. Now when snow started, before snow started, like by the end of November, like before Christmas, I was finishing up leaf removal jobs, and then I got to a point where I wanted to make sure, I got to January, like I wanted to make sure I was doing whatever I need to do to make money. So if I had whatever jobs, I would do it. But I also started doing Uber and Lyft on the side during that little month and a half there, to fill in the gaps of, with some extra money, which came in handy for me because, I'd get money daily. And then while I was doing the Uber and Lyft, I cross-marketed myself, and I was giving cards to people from my business for landscaping, and that went real well. And the conversations I had with a lot of riders, oh man, it was a good thing. Like I was making good money doing the driving, and I'm promoting myself with my business, and which was a good thing. Maybe you guys, if you're running to that, try that, because I sure did. But when January got here, that's when my contract started. I got to start invoicing them. And then snow was happening in December, January. And I don't mean like a bunch of snow. There were a lot of mixtures of storms, ice, sleet, whatever. But it called for ice melt. And there's a lot of money in ice melt. A lot of money in snow. We probably had 2 storms where we could plow something, which was the last storm of the year. And then one point, I can't remember what the exact date that we had at one point. But that helped me out as well. Because not only was I getting the landscape maintenance contract money monthly, I started getting that snow money right then and there. So I started putting that back right into the business, and I was able to move from a small storage unit to a large storage unit where I could fit a car, a truck, a trailer in there, and mowers. So I moved to a larger unit. I got more equipment to get ready for the spring, bigger mowers, zero turns, standard walk behinds. I ended up buying 2 vehicles. Wasn't renting anymore right before I bought those vehicles, I ended up during that time was renting the vehicle by the month. That's how I knew I was doing well or better, because I started doing it by the month. And then I was able to hire people to do work, and it was hiring people, subcontractors, whatever it was. I was getting the work done. And so after buying the 2 vehicles and more equipment, got a trailer, enclosed trailer, things were starting to look, on the up and up. And I was getting to where I wanted to be right before spring. And even right by that time, I ended up getting a larger place. I moved out of the storage unit and got a shop and yard, which is a big yard where I could store as many things as I want, bulk material, trucks, vehicles, whatever. All my stuff could just sit there, and then I got the shop where I could all my supplies and other equipment and could work on things. It was something that I really wanted, and I finally got that. So by the time spring was here, I was hiring more people to help, and of course I'm going through the headaches of that too, of people coming and going, dealing with the headaches of drama, people having issues, so I started with hardly nothing, and just because of the drive and the grind in myself, I was able to push that into something. And I'm still going. I'm not done at all. I'm not even where I want to be. But just to reflect back on how I actually started at this time last year, boy, I tell you, there might have been some times in my mind like, wow, like, what am I going to do? Like, oh, I'm gonna need to get this in here, but am I going to be able to get that? It was tough. Especially during the stretch when I worked for Lyft and Uber. Like I had to pay business bills as well as personal bills, and I did whatever I had to do to be able to do both. It was a bit of a struggle. And then you got family, you got things there's food, there's stuff for kids that's needed. But you want to make sure your bills are paid in the house, and you want to make sure your bills are paid with the business for a good month. I was just and I made it happen. But it was tough. But after I got to that point, I'm working these contracts and snow, and then I'm like, all right, I'm back to where I want to be. And but it's been a headache here and there, dealing with the weather, dealing with people coming and going, as I mentioned. It's all I can say is, I remember I thought to myself when I started the business, was there going to be something that I'm not prepared for, or was something not going to go the way I planned? I remember thinking that. I said, what it was going to be? Sure enough, there were some things that has popped up that way. That just comes with business. it's got its good points, and you're happy about it, but it can be stressful, man. Really stressful. And it's a big risk to do it, but I would say to anyone who wants to do it, take that jump, man. If you got time to do your research and get yourself together before you do it, do it. But if you're thinking about, you're at your job, and you just want to do your own thing, and you have experience in this field, by all means, just go out there. I mean, I forgot to mention, I also went out there with door hangers to door. I went to commercial properties, giving my card out. I had leads. I emailed a lot of people, and so many people I emailed as far as commercial work. There was a good amount that were answering me back, like, yeah, we got this you can bid on. You can send a whole bunch of them out, but at least you're gonna get a couple people that's gonna respond. That's what happened with me. I promoted myself on social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. I didn't really do heavy on YouTube at that time. I started an account, and I kind of put a couple of videos that I put on my website, but nothing to the degree that I'm doing now. But I pushed myself through social media, showing before and after of my work. That got a lot of people to call me and want me to do work. So I did everything in the beginning. I took on everything. I mean, everything. And they got to the point I had to turn down work, but even to this point, sometimes I got to turn down work. But I did like everything you could think of, man. I was grinding out there. And I'm still grinding. But I'm happy to where I am right now, but I'm not like content, like comfortable with it, because I want more. I want it to be where I have consistent staff. I want it to be where it allows me to have another truck to go ahead and start. Because I have a 3-man crew that does work for me, and I also have the crew that I'm working in. Used to be 3 people at one point. Used to 3, down to 2, down to 1, back to 2. But it's going up and down. And between the other crew and like the crew that I'm running, I've been able to handle things. But I want it to be like someone to run the crew that I have now. And they have to have a DOT physical card to drive my US DOT dump truck. They have to be able to drive an enclosed trailer. They have to be able to, know the properties and do everything right. When they can do that, and I have somebody that's in that place, which I had a couple people who I went through the process of talking to and paperwork and everything, and it came time to start that day, no show, no call, nothing, don't answer the phone. And I'm like, what the heck? And I would get all happy, like, okay, I got finally somebody who's going to run this crew, run this truck. I can go do some more stuff, get more jobs, do more managing, sales, start another crew, and then I was let down. So there are a lot of bumps in the road here, but I'm not giving up. I mean, I got things I have to handle. I have to handle my business. If I lose something, I got to be prepared for that. I got to be prepared to go get some other work to compensate for it. But for right now, I put myself out there for my work, like 100%. Some people say you're working too much, but I'm like, this is my business. This is what's providing for me and my family. This is something I'm building, Obviously, when I say building, obviously, Legend Landscape. This company's named after my son, Legend. Which I mentioned one of my videos from before. So I'm trying to build that, not just for now, for later, for him, or for when I'm not here anymore. If he decides to carry this on or not, I don't know. But obviously I'm going to take him under my wing and show him all the things that, I know, even if he doesn't decide to get into this or decide to take this on. But I'm really trying to build this thing. So I'm all in. I mean, I'm all in. I may get on some people's nerves as much as I promote myself and try to, put myself on social media, but hey, that's all that's on my mind is the business. And I'm not saying I don't think about other things. I mean, I think about family, but that's the number one thing of why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I put myself out there to run my own business and not work at another company. So I got to do what I got to do to keep it afloat, even if it gets on people's nerves. So that's pretty much what's been going on this past year. I mean, I've grown. I've started with nothing. I moved up. I'm still moving. I'm not like where I want to be, but I know I have things in place to get myself to where I want to be, and I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm gonna keep doing it, and until the next July, we'll see where I am the next July. Running a business is not easy. A lot of things you gotta be on point with. It's not just about having the equipment to go out there doing the work. You got to have stuff straight with the numbers, the banks, the taxes, payroll taxes, insurance on the vehicles, on the business, workman's comp. There's a lot with this that you have to make sure you have. With USDOT, oh my goodness, having that, man, you got to go through a lot of stuff, and to be right with the interstate, intrastate, whatever. You got to be a point. There was a lot of things I learned about that I didn't even know as I was going, as I thought I had everything right, and they kept saying, "Oh, you need to process this and you need to process that," and I'm like, damn, I thought I did everything. Every time I turn around, y'all keep saying I didn't do something. But there's a lot of things you have to watch out for. There are a lot of benefits with running the business too, but I would encourage anyone to go out there and just go out there and do it, man. Take that leap. You never know until you try it. It's not going to be easy. Trust me, it's not going to be easy. I got a business and now I can sit here and relax and sit on the beach and all that. No, it's not like that. You can probably get yourself to that point, but it's not going to be like that when you're doing the business. But anyhow, I'm happy with how things are. I'm glad to even be having this video to say to you guys, like, 1 year anniversary. It's feeling good. I'm liking the fact of networking with people. A lot of people that I see with the videos as well that do exactly what I do. I learn a lot from you guys as well. Just checking out some of the things you guys do, like ordinary everyday life and what you do with your business. I feel right there with you guys. Some guys have things just like me. Some have way more than me. Some have less than me. But whatever it is, I always encourage them. I see them with people that don't have hardly anything. I'll keep grinding. I tell them, keep grinding, keep grinding, man. I see you. Keep it up. You're out there with little push mowers and whatever, and you're out here hustling. You're trying to get your name out there. You're doing videos. You're doing whatever to promote yourself. I like that, because I know eventually they're gonna get what they're trying to achieve. And then there's the guys that they already have their thing that they've been doing for years, and so they have so many followers and they got so many different businesses outside of the landscaping thing, because they're promoting other people's products and they're getting free stuff, and there's a lot of things going on, and I respect that too, because you guys turn maybe one thing that you were trying to do into like multiple things. So I get a kick, and I like watching a lot of videos and watching other people that do what I do to another level as well. So other than that, everything's going okay. Everything's going okay. It's been really busy. Here's July. I'm still busy. I know when August gets here, or end of August, September, it's going to be really busy because fall is going to get crazy. But I'm all up for it. I'm all in the process of still knocking out work now, but also getting prepared for another bids again for the commercial work that's going to happen for snow and landscape maintenance for next year. So it doesn't stop, man. I've been trying to tell you, it doesn't stop. So, but I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna go all day with this. I wanted to reflect a little bit on the starting of my business, where I am now, what I had to go through, what I did before my business. I'm sure I'll have plenty of videos to do later to even to talk even more about my experiences and things that I could mention now, but I really don't want to go too much into it. But just know that I'm feeling good. My brother's going to keep grinding. I appreciate all the support out there. I've been getting a lot of support. There's people out there that who follow me, who get on my posts, just let it be known that they appreciate and they support me. I appreciate all you guys' support. I really see you guys out there that could care less. Don't have to like a post or whatever or comment, but you do. You let it be known, and I appreciate that. So I'm gonna let that go for now and just say I'm gonna conclude this video here. If there's something else I'll do later tonight or today to celebrate, maybe I'll post it along with this video. But until then, I'm going to sign off and just let you know, Legend Landscape is coming, baby. We're coming. You only seen us for a year, but we're coming. So I'll catch you guys on the next time I see you. And just know, you know.